Hi, I'm Chrissie Hanson, and I am at the moment. I think kindness on yourself, but also others. Right now, I am in something that's called gardening leave, which is a wonderful strategic pause between roles. It's an incredible privilege because I get to think, I get to read a lot. I'm listening to a ton of podcasts about AI and learning words like confabulation and how that's specifically different from a hallucination. I am spending a ton of time with my daughter, my husband, with my mother. I'm doing more visits than you would expect to healthcare appointments, and I know more about shopping experiences at 11 a.m. than one could ever imagine. So it is quite diverse right now in terms of experiences, but I am truly grateful. So I was very lucky in that in taking my last role, being part of the AAF board was kind of an automatic. But it was in how Steve Pacheco and team welcomed me into it to show me that there is this incredible infrastructure and community that supports all kind of professionals in terms of the not only the networking, but actually how do you bring up and coming talent into the industry, and how can you apply your kind of influence in making those doors more open. And as I spent more time with the AAF, the opportunity to kind of be part of the chair for the Hall of Achievements, which is those individuals who are up-and-coming leaders under the age of 40, who are not just having kind of personal milestones, but actually doing something significant to improve the ecosystem around us. Like, that was an incredible privilege. And so we are kind of right now still in the stages of encouraging people to submit their own applications. That is humbling, I have to say, right? Because I'm not under 40. And so when you see the incredible work that leaders from across our industry are doing, not only in their own careers, but actually what they're doing in terms of mentoring or starting entire initiatives, it is a real reminder to yourself to say, well, if they can do that, I can absolutely do that as well and create those forums. So that is why it's such an exciting, invigorating, and personally moving mission to be part of. A more recent question I have begun to ask is, what was the last mistake you made and what did you do as a result? And I ask that question because it shows flexibility and malleability, self-awareness, and I think kindness on yourself, but also others. Because our world is changing so quickly that what was right in the past will not necessarily work. And the willingness for you to explore different avenues is so important. And then how do you move with that in a kind of concrete way, so that if you make a mistake, you go, okay, I'm not going to action upon that, as opposed to mistake, recognition, perhaps, but then sitting in it for too long. It also comes from a lesson maybe some years ago when my daughter was younger and she was in preschool, and the teachers taught us this concept that was called, do you have a brick brain or a bubblegum brain? And they would ask the children this. Because what they were trying to get to was their recognition that even if you think something's hard, actually you always have a soft brain that's able to move and shift. And I think the ability to address a mistake kind of falls within that. It's just a more grown-up way of asking that same question. So I was inspired by an episode of Brave New World by Vasant Dar, and he interviews Deepak Chopra. And Deepak Chopra talks about how he goes away 2 or 3 times a year and goes to a location and has no devices, but also no people. So I've been reducing the times I look at screens and are connected to the Wi-Fi. But I have found 1 week in May where I'm going to tell all friends and all family, I'm at home, but I personally am not allowed to have phone, TV, Wi-Fi, anything. And so we're going to see what happens to me, because I believe days 1 and 2, I'll be antsy, but then by days 6 and 7, I will achieve a level of clarity. So we should do this again, and I can tell you what clarity looks like and euphoria. So in the garden, we have a new set of plants, but I have to say I'm very proud of a session of planting I did back in November. So I ordered 400 tulip bulbs because this was my start of being more green-fingered. What was interesting in that is that I genuinely thought I could buck nature. So right now when I'm in the garden, you can see, let me guess, it's something like 330 beautiful tulips of every color. And then there's this little patch that is bald. Why? Because that was the patch that I decided that if I just dug deeper, right, the actual rules of nature wouldn't apply to me, which was incredibly humbling and a great reminder that you cannot outwork everything in life.